People are like, oh, you're so responsible wearing a mask. I'm like, it's because I'm ugly as fuck.
You too, sir.
My wife doesn't think I'm ugly, so I guess it doesn't matter.
You're not ugly.
No, I know. She was shout out to her, man. She has been such a fucking doll lately. I can't believe that she has to put up with, man. I sit here and I think, I'm like, wow, you're still here. I mean, after what after being neglected all day because I'm working on, chasing squirrels. You know what I'm building now? Do you want to know?
What another thing?
What's up?
Yeah, I'm
More things? What are you working on now?
An infrared sensor for the front end of my Harley so that I don't hit deer anymore, so I can see them before.
Awesome.
I like this. I think that's a really good idea.
Yeah, so I've got myself a couple of FLIR Lepton 3.5 sensors that I'm going to mount on both sides of the fairing. And then the challenge, I think right now, is getting enough processor in a small enough little cheap thing, Yeah.
We started, by the way?
Yeah, we're started.
Okay, cool. Just checking. Turn this bloody light down. It's driving me freaking nuts.
And I think range is going to be an issue.
Why can't you go wired?
Can you instead of an IR sensor, get a LiDAR sensor?
I'm trying to keep expenses down so that I can build many of these and provide them to other.
Don't buy one. Go take one off the front of any fucking car made after, I don't know, 2000 or something.
Oh, go junkyard it, yeah.
But
I can get you, if you want to, I can get you LiDAR sensors, not big ones, decent sized small ones.
Yeah, please. I'd love to, because I want to get this built and installed and operational before the next Sturgis rally, so that if people are interested in these, I can sell them. It's a safety thing, and I don't want to make a ton of money. I just don't want people hitting fucking deer. It hurts.
Mm-hmm.
There's one.
Are you going to call it Two Deer Enterprises?
I'm just
I like that. That's fun.
What I'd like to do is just build it, schematic it out, make it all open source, and then just just give it to somebody else, and you just sell it.
Sell the kits. Sell the kits would be fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Really.
There's one made for cars that's $1,800. So way too much. We got to bring that price down to about 500 or less.
Yeah, that seems. I think. I mean, depends. Is it IR or is it IR or is it LiDAR?
That one's IR.
You know who we need to grab into this one. We can actually talk to them while we're up in. If he's up in Grand Rapids. There's a couple of really, really good folks. Justin Monablano is one. Really, really good guy in that field, and those guys up there, and there's a few other good folks like Car Hacking Village that would know. I mean, the LiDAR sensors, there's only a couple of folks that are selling them, and there's some really good ones out there. But yeah, that would work. And then, are you going to have collision avoidance, or is it just so that you get some kind of an alert, a visual stimulus alert, whatever, that tells you, hey, avoid the ship?
Yeah, I think visual alert should be fine, at least for this first version. Because you're going to have this, say 3.5 inch, whatever, display, whatever that you can mount on the bike. And if you're riding at night and you see something red pop up on that screen, that's going to be enough to, okay, something's fucked up. So I think that'll be good for now for this version.
Yeah, I think that would probably work.
Yeah.
I like the idea. The idea sounds kind of cool.
Well, so I already have 2 Lepton 3.5 IR sensors, but I'd love to try a LiDAR sensor.
Well, LiDAR should do it. I think I'm like 99% certain they should do it. Somebody might be on the channel. I'm actually not on the YouTube because I'm streaming from the phone, so I want to be careful.
Yeah. I think it'll be fun. Yeah, and we'll sell a bunch of that shit. And I won't, like I said, I don't want to make a damn profit. I just want people to not hit deer. When I was out in Sturgis, 2 rides in particular, I saw 16 deer and the other one I saw 15.
Oh, ouch. Yeah, that's nuts. Because I mean, it's bad enough. Well, I mean, you've already nailed one, so
2.
Yeah, and yeah, good point. I forgot. Sorry, 2. Yeah, LiDAR should do it. I don't know if there's anybody sitting on the channel tonight that would know, but I'd go with a 99% that, and you can pick LiDAR sensors up. Those are not expensive things, like
Okay.
not expensive.
What's the
Okay.
range?
Different price, different range. But you are, I mean, I know with the ones we've messed with, like 30, 40, 50 feet out of them at least.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna try. I need to get something
100.
like,
You
I
could
don't know.
probably do with 100 at least, I would imagine.
Yeah, it's got to be beyond the headlights and wide, right? I need to get that angle out. Probably be nice to get 30, 40 meters off the side of each, off the road on each side. That's why I had to get two of these Lepton or two of these, whatever sensors, because the range, I couldn't get it that wide. So I had to get two. We'll have to mount two, one on each side. See. And then I think the challenge is going to be combining those images. I don't have the code for that. I'll have to figure that out. But I got a year, so fuck it.
There we go. Adafruit. I fucking love those guys. Adafruit did some good ones. I'm not sure what the distance is on them. Yeah, what's the mess with it? Yeah, 10 meter. So low power consumption, 10 meters. So, all right. Yeah, there's decent ones out there.
Yeah, so 33 feet, 32-ish feet.
Yeah, you want basically.
So
Yeah, well,
sounds like you want to make a change.
I want to make a change.
Yeah, you want to make a change. You want to make a difference. You want to make a change. You want to create a product that helps people, benefits them, cuts down on the amount of deer they run over, saves lives, right?
Yep.
And tonight's topic is about change and some of the changes that continue to happen and evolve, right? So this is a carryover from last week. And last week we touched on a variety of different changes and things that are happening. And as I was thinking about this week's show, and I was having some conversations and interactions with folks, it kind of dawned on me that, to simplify, do we need to go back to maybe a couple of the old school methods applied in a new school way? So specifically, think checksumming. Right? Just some of the simple stuff back in the day that you could do to know that the code you hadn't changed from the code that you had before. And some of those just simple integrity checks that were pushed to the side for performance or were handled by something else. But to keep it from being cumbersome, you have to use kind of new school methods and automation and some of the stuff that was more manual process back in the day, but created choke points. Is it maybe more simplistic than that? And we don't need as many layers. We just need better, more stringent process.
So you said integrity checks. We need integrity checks for people. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
There's truth to that.
Design that shit. I want that.
Well, Chris is kind of working on it.
We'd have to shut down Microsoft.
I'll give you a list of vendors we'll need to shut down.
Right.
We just got to change the rules of the game.
So I was actually having that conversation today. Very nice conversation with a few folks. So I'm down in, where am I? Plano, down in Texas. And Cecil, who's down there, freaking awesome guy, said, hey, come down, hang out. So we're doing that. And, I went on kind of my normal rant. And somebody was like, you're always giving vendors a hard time. I'm like, yeah. Tell me why I shouldn't. I'm like, if you can explain to me. And I said, it's because it's simple. You keep walking up to everybody and telling them you can solve all their problems. I said, I'm looking at a bunch of banners around here. One of them said, hey, we can prevent hackers. One of the boxes, I think I put it up on Twitter. Was like,
yeah, I saw that.
Fucking a bunch of numpties. There's that one. I'm like, anyway. And there's a bunch of others, hey, AI-driven security solution. I'm like, here's my 20 questions on AI to begin with you. Let alone everything else. I'm like, the problem is we can't trust what you tell us. Number one, we can't trust what you tell us. Number two, unfortunately, you don't stand behind your word.
Right.
And now you have the backing.
Oh my, yeah.
Fuck,
Ooh.
I'm so off, man.
So I wasn't aware.
I mean,
What is this?
So
yeah. So
I don't even know where to
gotta
start.
change
You sent me that video, man. I don't know if you want to play it on here or not for the audience, but holy shit, I watched that and I was like,
I almost need to play it for,
I- for the-
I just swallow some of the vomit, you know, and I didn't eat anything like spicy or anything. So I know the vomit came from this fucking video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could play it. I could play it for the audience.
Oh my God.
Oh, this will get us flagged by
I'm gonna turn
YouTube.
off my video so you can't see my face.
Oh, come on. Come on. We want to see your face.
No.
I'm gonna share
To
screen.
those of you currently processing my pre-check, I apologize in advance. If you could let me know if I'm gonna get it or not, that'd be great.
Sorry. Oh,
Jim.
sorry about that.
Somebody actually sent that to our little rockers, our aged rockers, and just to say, hey, how much
great.
they,
Now I think I have diarrhea too. Hold on, I'll be back.
Chris is eating. Go on.
it just isn't good, is it?
He's military. He's got a stomach.
I do. But that was, to me, that's not a stomach thing. That's just like when you see that, I have to admit, I take a step back and I'm like, how do we, I don't know how to succeed. You know, it's when you see that, I'm like, you know, it's, I just don't know. Because it feels like, you know, we had the Allen thing, we were doing the podcast earlier on today, and, you know, talking about compliance and regulation. I'm like, it's simple, get them all in the fucking room, make them put just 10 things together that you can do, maybe 20 at a push, and that's it. Every single one of them, PCI, HIPAA, FERC, NERC, SOX, you're going to fucking agree to just 10 things or 20 things that a company needs to do. PS, you don't get to fucking monetize this. You don't get to build billion-dollar business on 20 questions that you need to help people with. End of discussion.
Well, and if
The reason why that doesn't happen is because, like you said, there's no money in it.
And then they're like, well, so, you know, we could do this. And I'm like, no, you can't. I said, you don't stand a chance. If you go to like Deloitte or any of the big four or anybody that's on the QSA list and say, hey, we're going to strip your business away because we're going to simplify things and give people this checklist, they're going to fucking rebel. It's right. A cash cow. It's a
hold on. Right. So cool. Let's implement a universal way in which we describe assets. That can be the first order of business of the newly formed committee, right? Describe an asset in a common language. That becomes a mandatory rule. And if you want to hire Deloitte to come in and tag and classify your assets to the new mandatory standard, since it's a government venture, let's make that singular standard mandatory. So here's what your asset is. Here's what it does. They've supposedly already set up all the information sharing about vulnerabilities with each other to simplify that process.
No.
You know what I mean? Like let's take a really basic. I love where you were going with that, Chris. What are the basic things? But in that basic, and this, I think, Evan, earlier you were talking about, you know, it is getting more complex and we have to ask more and more questions. But what if we didn't by just simply stripping back to a common communication standard, just like we've done in every other
Dude,
industry.
This is like my life, thing. You know what I mean? It's the whole point of the book. It's speak this fucking common language, simplify this shit so everybody can understand it. Everybody has a role here. Everybody. Nobody is exempt from having a role in this game. It's like a soccer team that goes out to play soccer, and you got a bunch of fucking people standing there not even knowing that they're in the game. You're in the game and you're getting your ass kicked embarrassingly, right? So you look at and that's one of the talks, I think that's coming up, where I'm talking about they're winning. Because not only are they winning, if you put this in like a game context, something that people can understand, not only are they winning, meaning the bad guys, not hackers, the bad guys, not only are they winning, they're embarrassing us. They're kicking our ass. Meanwhile, we're sitting here spinning our wheels, thinking, oh, we can trust Microsoft. We can trust Palo Alto. We can trust all these guys to protect us. Bullshit. They don't give a fuck about protecting you. They want more money. That's it. They're in business to make money. And so when you work with, the state of, I'm working with 3 or 4 states now, and they're starting to wake up to it, right? How can I possibly secure an entire fucking state? Like I'm the CISO. Say I'm the CISO for the state of, take one, Nebraska, right? In the state of Nebraska, I've got X number of agencies that I'm responsible for securing. Every one of these agencies is marching to the beat of their own drum, right? They've got their own technologies. They've got their own policies. They've got their own whatever the fuck they're doing. You can't possibly fucking manage that. You have to get this common language. And it's not another fucking standard. We've got God knows enough fucking standards, right? I don't need another fucking framework. What I need is basic fucking understanding of what the fuck we're trying to do here. Period. What are we trying to do? Well, we're trying to protect our assets. Well, then wouldn't it make fucking sense that I inventory my assets?
Yeah, in the first place. Yeah, exactly.
And you get people speaking, there's hope. There is hope. I want to give a shout out to the state of New Jersey, Mike Garrity, the CISO there. He's one of the CISOs. There are few CISOs in this planet that I would actually work for. Pat Joyce would be another one, in the private sector, Medtronic. But
yeah,
Mike Garrity gets it, man. When I talked to him the first time about what we're trying to do, he got it right away. He's like, fuck yeah, I want to take this. He's on a trial. I mean, he's got over 1,000 entities that he's responsible for securing. Because in the state of New Jersey, that's another fucking problem here. Every state does security different, even from a top level who manages this shit. In the state of New Jersey, they don't report to the CISO or the CIO. They have a separate entity kind of off to the side, but still governed by the governor.
like office of state of whatever, office of the CISO or something.
Kinda. It's what do they call it? The cyber cell. So if you look up state of New Jersey CISO, you'll see they've got this kind of cyber cell. It's sort of a partnership with CISA, which is cool because I'm going to try to use that angle to get CISA to get their shit together. Because CISA is, what the fuck are you doing? I mean, I have conversations with CISA. I'm like, hey, here's this thing. I've talked on the show here before about this attack surface for the states. This is what the bad guys see about you using open source tools, no scanning. I'm not fucking hitting you with anything. Right. This is what they see. Why don't you do this for the states? There's a good place. There's an asset inventory of what's exposed to the attackers. Why don't you do this? I'll give it to you free. Well, that was the problem. Free. I should have fucking charged them $1 million fucking dollars for this.
They would have trusted you and believed you.
Yeah, because they're not interested.
Yeah.
And it's such a fucking racket. I'm so pissed off, man. Because at the end of the day, who suffers? Not Microsoft, not Palo Alto, not CrowdStrike, not FireEye, me, you, taxpayers, the people sitting at home. I'm tired of the fucking shit, man. Now I'm gonna turn on my video again because I'm done puking.
You didn't like a bunch of old rockers. I wonder who came up with that. Like who somewhere somebody somewhere thought that would be a good idea.
Might be the same people that decide, that designed how we got out of fucking Afghanistan.
Yeah, that was a bit of a, and there were people going, like,
Was?
well, that was an eye-opening exit. No, it fucking wasn't. If the writing was on the wall, you numpties.
I don't want to get political, so I'm not going down there. But I just had to mention it. It's like, what the fuck are we doing?
I honestly, my only concern, realistically, is one for the very people that have watched it and went, why did I do this? I mean, I remember because we were over there right at the beginning of this shit show. And I sat down, I'm like, so what do we do for the last 20 years? Why did I have to escort home
That's
colleagues? Yeah.
Dude. Yeah. It's the people that are stuck there now that are suffering. It's the women, the children that'll have to grow up with this new fucking regime, which is evil as fuck. It's the, I grew up in a military family. Everybody in my household is military one way or another. You're military. And people don't realize that I think the number today is 22. 22 suicides every day, from military people active and people who are veterans. And now this shit happens, and you've got people who sacrificed, who are like, what was the use?
Yeah.
They watch these things on television and they see that all the things that they fucking gave their life for crumbling. That only makes it that makes the number go from 22 to 25.
Right. Exactly.
What the fuck, man? Sorry.
Yeah, no, don't be sorry. That was
that happened. People that sacrifice, for other people, they deserve
there were
the
a lot of fun. Yeah, there were a lot of phone calls that happened those first few days of that shit show. But the writing's been on the wall. This is, and again, it's Jesse's idea. Well, actually, Jesse's. We obviously at the HHS we had a conversation like, what do we do? I'm like, well, just wall the fucking place off and flood it. I said, and you can turn it into an amusement park. And they're like, well, Jesse was like, no, just nuke it and we can start again from scratch. Take all the good people out, nuke whatever's left, and start putting them back in there. I'm like, it kind of messes up the rest of the planet. And Daddy's like, nah, we'll figure that shit out. I'm like, I'm just gonna put a wall around it, kind of like we want to do with Quebec. I really just want to put a wall around Quebec, flood it, and just turn it into like another Disney Atlantis or something.
Fucking French Canadians. Yeah, there you go. Quebec, and you take Ottawa too while you're at it.
Okay. Well, see, I don't have a beef with Ottawa. It's just Quebec.
Yeah, Quebec infiltrated Ottawa. I think they took it over.
Got it. So another example of, unfortunately, not looking beyond the end of your nose on one of those situations.
Well, and you got to question. They have, you put things into context, right? You have a lot better information than I have, right? The president of the United States has much better intel than I could ever dream of having, right? Actually, I think a lot of people don't realize the president of the United States actually has his own clearance level above and beyond any other clearance level in the entire world. He gets a custom report made for him every single day that's got every fucking thing you could ever fucking want to know about anything going on that nobody else knows. For his eyes only. I'm sure he shares it with his Joint Chiefs and what have you. But so he's got this intel and he makes a decision. So then it has to come down to, you can't claim you didn't know. You can't. So there's got to be a motive. There's got to be a reason why you made the decision you made. Now, I don't know what it is. I can only speculate. I can only see what I can see.
Yeah.
But it's the same kind of thing with this security shit, right? You know, what's the motive here? Why are you taking this approach? Because I know for a fact, logically, right? Read some fucking books about logic, that this is not going to work. It's not.
In this case, so I think the government thing was different. A long story we can have on that one, definitely. Probably over a face-to-face fire, good cup of tea, possibly alcohol, and God knows how many of those weird chemically enhanced things that you drink.
There, baby.
Oh my gosh.
I got a new one today.
Scary.
Oh,
But-
hey, there you go. That lets you know it's high quality right
oh
there.
my gosh, that's so scary. So I mean, from our standpoint, it's
300 milligrams of caffeine.
from our standpoint, it's money. Why change? Seriously, why change? Tell me. I mean, because money's rolling in. I'm doing quarterly assessments with 500 different companies, and I've got 100 staff on that. I'm paying 150, 200,000 a year, and I'm invoicing out at $500,000 a year across all things. I've got contracts going out on PSI. It's a cash cow. It's why the hell should I change? I have no incentive to change.
Right. And it goes back to the accountability, right? There's also nobody to hold you accountable. I mean,
Yeah. Oh,
if people know the story behind Microsoft, where it started, what they did, how they treated Novell in the early days, I mean, holy shit.
Novell and IBM. Yeah.
It was as fucking illegal and unethical as it gets.
Let me answer this. Not only do I not have any incentive, I have a disincentive. Because let's say Ryan is one of my customers. Number one, I bleed Ryan every quarter. I am actually like ransomware. I bleed Ryan every quarter. Every month I'm doing a report, but every quarter I bleed him. And once a year I come in there and, with the 50 gallons of lube. But when, not if, when, because Ryan is relying on me to tell him he's in good shape, and I'll help him and I'll point him in a bunch of different softwares for which maybe I do or don't get a kickback on. But when Ryan goes down, two things happen. One, I get called out to help Ryan out. So yeah, it means a couple of my folks have to get inconvenienced. I pay them time and a half, but I charge Ryan $500-600 an hour, plus all the expenses and everything else. And now I get to go into Ryan every month or every, Ryan might or might not have been in a safe harbor, but now Ryan's really under the radar. So I get to take even more money out of Ryan.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Well,
it's guaranteed money. It's guaranteed money because if he doesn't pay, the insurance company will. So it's guaranteed money. So where's my fucking incentive? I don't have one.
It's the same thing from the software development side of things, right? I develop something, Ryan buys it because Ryan needs it, right? Because everybody else has got it. So Ryan buys
and he's being told he has to have it.
Right. And it's shitty software. It's bloated fucking shit, man. It's got a whole bunch of features that you don't ever need, that you'll never even know that are there. Right. So many fucking lines of code, so many fucking errors in those lines of code. You have no clue. It's commercial software off the shelf. You can't do a fucking thing about it anyway. So you buy it, install it in your environment, and then you get, hacked, right? It's your job to maintain it too, by the way. It's not my job to maintain it. I put patches. If you didn't patch your shit, that's on you. That's your fucking problem. Even though it was my flaw in the first place. Right. And so, and it's so fucking complex. You don't know how to fucking run it.
Actually, yeah.
Right?
Whoa. Go back. You said something I'd never really thought about. I'd never thought about it that way. You just actually like, whoa, moment. I produce software and I sell it and I have to patch it, but you get the blame when my software that you didn't patch is breached.
Right. Right.
I'd never thought about it that way.
Yeah. And then when you finally learn how to use the fucking software that was overly complex, that had all the bells and whistles and features and all that shit, when you finally learn how to fucking use it, I deprecate.
Yep.
I fucking end of life that son of a bitch. And I give you new software that you fucking like, oh my God, what the fuck is this? Windows 11? Okay. I was just getting used to Windows XP. But fuck, thank you. And so then you go down this whole fucking route again. And then being that my software was shitty to begin with, I'm also going to sell you, because there's more money to be made. I can sell you some software, antivirus software made by me to protect my shit, but you're going to pay for it because I didn't make my shit right to begin with. So it's prone to fucking malware. So you buy my malware software, which you also need to fucking patch, which I'm also going to fucking deprecate, which I'm also, you know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck are we doing?
Again, exactly to this new point. I don't have an incentive.
No, nobody to hold you accountable. And the only person that would be able to hold you accountable, there's two people, right? Two groups that can hold you accountable. Either consumers, well, they're fucking ignorant. And I've kept them in the dark on purpose.
Yeah.
I purposely made this thing so complex. They don't understand it. They can't understand it. Go back to, we talked about before we started this podcast, There's nothing wrong with stateful packet inspection firewalls, the basic fucking shit that they were selling 20 fucking years ago.
Yeah.
More effective than that Palo Alto piece of shit that you just fucking bought. Right? Because it's so complex, you don't know how to configure it anyway.
Well, the other reason the consumer's in the dark is when shit goes wrong, you don't blame the software company. You blame the company that bought the software, that tried to run it, that tried to patch it, that tried to do everything that you told when you didn't even tell them half the shit to do. So,
Right.
Nobody looks at Microsoft and goes, "You bastards," when Target got breached. Or whoever, pick a software vendor. Nobody looks at Palo Alto when the bank gets breached. They look at the bank and go, "You bastards." When Anthem got its ass handed to it, nobody looked at the software company and went, "You fuckers." Everybody went to Anthem and went, "You're assholes."
Right. So that was one group, right? Pretty much
Mhm.
lost. We're not going to get there anytime soon.
Well,
The
easily,
second
yeah.
one is the government. The government forces accountability because they write laws, right? They make a law that says you must do this thing. Well, now, I mean, and it's not now because they've been in bed for a long fucking time. This is just the JCDC thing is just an official like, hey, we're fucking you over and we love it. Let's dance.
God.
So
Seriously.
you think the government's going to fucking hold Microsoft accountable? Fuck no.
No, they're in bed with them now. I mean, yeah. I mean, we need to
Now.
say.
Yeah.
Well,
How many babies
now
have
it's
they
not a
had?
picture frame. Now the picture frame is on the wall. It isn't actually in the drawer. It's on the wall.
Right.
Oh my god, man! It's seriously, how many fucking days do we have left? Hold this shit together, people.
Shit ain't gonna happen. You are not gonna reach your 700. We are going nuclear before you get to 700. Sorry to tell you.
57.
Something's got to happen.
Yeah, shit ain't gonna happen.
57, please, please, please.
Not happen.
Fuck. Maybe I'll have
Seriously,
to
move to Texas. This state.
New Texas.
Oh my God, this state is interesting. It has been getting down here was enlightening, but hanging out with the folks down here has actually been kind of cool. It's been kind of interesting.
I love Texas.
It is. I've been in and out of here a number of times. This was a CISO, like CISO type forum. And there were, I don't know, CISO, this was the first year, totally fantastic. We're going to have to come down next year, like seriously road trip down here next year, because CISO was amazing. The team we put together are actually fantastic. The conference was totally cool. Like some of the vendors, some of the speakers needed to be taken off and shot because, they start speaking 5 minutes about how the life is, and then they spend the next 30 minutes talking about how their product's going to fucking solve it. I know CISO is going to fix that, and it's not a problem. It's just, again, it's a problem with the vendor side of it. But the conference was fantastic. Great conversations with people, like fantastic people here as well. So serious kudos. And it's, Texas Renaissance or whatever it is. And just down the road, there's some fun silly things to play with, and bloody good food around here too. So, yeah,
the barbecue. Did you go to, holy shit, what's the name of it? Fuck.
I haven't done much. And I literally, when I got in late last night, the place was closed down. So there was an eatery across the road that we found. Absolutely freaking fantastic place. So totally awesome little place. Hit that one. Today I was meant to go to Mexican Sugar or something and didn't make it out of the damn building. I've been talking to people all freaking day. So we'll get there one day.
Speaking of conferences, I need a session description from you.
I saw it come in. I'm like, must get to that. I'll try.
Just give me a sentence. I'll fill in some blanks. Give me a theme.
I got a couple of things. What are you two talking about?
He's going to be talking about how you
Sex,
can't win.
baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the good things.
We can do that. I got no problem standing up in front of the feds and just literally going balls to the wall. We can talk about hacking sex toys.
Yeah, I'm cool.
And how that's like the next frontier. Oh, well, ransomware sex toys.
So John Oliver just did a piece on that this week.
Oh, no way.
No way. And I did the security awareness video at the end is amazing.
Got it. All right, that might have to be watched.
Right,
All right,
I didn't watch that.
What are you two talking on? I'm like officially, what are you two talking on?
I'm doing focus on the fundamentals.
Cool.
And Evan's gonna do you can't win. He's doing it's ransomware battles.
Oh, I saw an interesting statistic today, which it was a new one for me. I didn't realize this. I knew it was getting kind of sophisticated, but this took it to a whole new level. The ransomware gangs are now looking on the likes of like Glassdoor and other social media to find disgruntled employees, social engineering them into deploying the ransomware inside the company and sharing the profits. I'm like, fuck. Kudos, gotta give them credit, but that's like next level shit. And I'm like, oh, that's just not, you're fucked at that point. I mean, we used to buy people's passwords, it costs, $500 or $1,000 to get the password and off we go from there. But this is just like, damn. And there's payback. You get a percentage of profits. There's your incentive. I'm like, oh shit.
When we talked about, I think it came from one of the shit shows we did. I created that contract.
Yeah.
This is a contract that every single company everywhere should give to their IT department, whether it be internal or be external, right? Here are the 10 things that you are agreeing, you're signing off that you're doing.
Yeah.
You're signing this fucking document. Otherwise, I'm canceling my contract, right? And those 10 things, to your point earlier, Chris, about simplify, right? Give me 10 things.
Yeah.
These 10 things, and you are like 99% sure to recover from.
Yeah. Again, this shit's not hard.
So we're gonna be releasing that on Security Studio and blasting that everywhere. Because why wouldn't I do that? I don't understand why I wouldn't. Hey, MSP, sign this shit.
Yep.
They look at it like, we can't. Why not? Well, because we're not doing number 3 and number 4. Well, fucking do it.
Get your shit together and do it. Yeah.
What am I paying you for?
Right.
And it's backup. It's not like
you don't have to go out and spend $500,000 on fucking software, hardware, new bodies, or anything else. It's just get the shit sorted out. We squirreled. I know. Talks. You're talking on fundamentals. No, you're talking on fundamentals. You're talking about.
I'm talking about, they're winning, and I'm just going to lay out how bad the game is actually being played today.
All right. So you're going to deal with that. I don't have to do any of that stuff.
If we lose the game, this is what it looks like. But it's not too late. We're still in it. There's still time on the clock, but it's running out quick. We're fucked.
What do we talk about?
I don't know. Well, and then we got to do a show. So for the audience, I don't know if they know this yet or not, but we'll be doing a live show at 8:00 Central instead of 10 o'clock.
2 weeks from today.
September.
2 weeks from today, Ryan?
Yep.
Is that when that is?
Yeah.
And Ryan, I want to give a public shout out to you, man.
For putting this together?
Yeah, this is FBI InfraGard SuperCon in Milwaukee? Where fucking was
Elkhart.
Whatever. It smells like cheese. I just know that. And Chris is gonna get his free
Ass handed to him.
Whatever the fuck he gets over there. And but Ryan, you and I were both approached to give talks here by I think Scott Knowles. So shout out to him. You took the ball and ran with it. Made sure I got my shit squared away. Scott asked about doing the shit show potentially live from there with an audience there. You took that ball, ran with it, checked with Chris, got Chris in. So the fact that Chris is now speaking there too, and Chris would have, come on, it's Chris, right? He would have gotten his place. He didn't probably even know about it. But the fact of the matter is the three of us are all speaking at the same conference for the first time. And then we're going to do the shit show live afterwards. And I think, Ryan, you're the guy that deserves the most credit for doing that. So thanks, brother.
Oh, no problem, man. Honestly, guys, it was totally selfishly motivated. I just miss hanging out with you in person, and this was a great excuse to actually get some quality time with you two.
All right.
But just want you to know, like it's because I love you guys. So I'm kidding, but that will be one of the benefits.
Dance.
I'm just, no, it's going to be fun.
Let's do karaoke. Chris, I want to see Chris. Let's get Chris a little lubed up and get him up on the stage doing some karaoke somewhere.
Shit ain't happening.
we could do shit show. We could do shit show karaoke.
No, it's not pretty. Let us not. I mean, we're going to torment people anyway. But this all, I mean, I think I've already been banned from Virginia after my Virginia Senate thing.
Yeah, tell me about that. Tell me how Virginia went. Tell me what you
It
guys.
was good. I think it went pretty well. They recorded it. A bunch of folks have seen it. It seemed to go pretty well. A lot of some very, very good feedback on it. I was, I was polite but blunt.
Right.
I think.
And who was your talk to?
The Senate. So joint something or other Senate, a bunch of senators and a bunch of delegates of senators. Joint something of somebody or other of Joint Technology Council of Senators or something like that. So
Nice.
and they do.
Should I follow up with somebody?
Say again?
Should I follow up with somebody?
Oh yeah, hell yeah, totally. Yeah, do. Seriously, I think it'd be well worth it. Yeah, I've got the link for it's on the LinkedIn somewhere.
Okay.
And
I've
then
been social media kind of quiet the last week or two. I've been
don't blame you.
inundated with a whole bunch of security studio shit. Good shit, but it's busy as fuck right now. Ryan has been a rock star. You're the one that's taken up all the day-to-day shit, man. God, I can't imagine what life would be like right now without you there, bro.
Well, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah.
We're getting it. We're getting it. I got some new people coming in to help take some of the load.
Mm-hmm.
I did get called Evan the other night by my wife. She goes,
What?
you yell at him and Chris all the time for working all these crazy ass hours. Now you sitting there working all these crazy ass hours. I'm like, well, that's what's gotta happen.
Well, you can make a deal. Make a deal. I made a deal with my wife, right? And I remind her of it. You let me work 10 years worth of work in the next 5. And then I promise to step down.
That's good. My deal was I talked to her about this on the front end, and she's committed. I was like, oh, remember the part where I said you have to sacrifice a little? We just got there.
Yeah.
But no, in all fairness, she's just like, I'm just worried you don't eat enough and you're not getting the exercise. And, it's always the health stuff, right?
Well, I'm concerned too, man. You got to reassure me on a regular basis that you're taking care of yourself.
I'm doing what I can do, man. I'm doing good. I'm hanging in there.
Do I need to send some bacon over to your house?
No.
You send bacon, I'll send one of those little tracking pills that we can put in his body, and it just snaps to a device that's on his side and goes to the phone, and then we can monitor. It's just bacon. You don't want a monitoring device that goes with it.
Hey, I got a new tattoo.
I already have one. It's right here.
I know, but it's fun giving you more.
No,
I got a new tattoo.
Did you?
What?
What did you get?
Put the darn video back on. Where's your video gone?
I want a minute. I got the Sturgis logo, the 81st Sturgis logo, the really cool ass logo on my left arm, right below the Shaka symbol.
You got echoes. There's a bit of echoing going on. Just a heads up. Well, there was.
Echo, 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 echo.
Bugger off.
Bugger off, 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 off. I love you guys. I missed you guys.
2 weeks time. Just saying.
I know, and it's my birthday. So
I know. What do you want for your birthday? What do you want for your birthday?
Just to hang out with you guys.
No. What do you want for your birthday? What can I get you for your birthday?
What's your love language, Ryan?
Ooh, I know what I can get you for your birthday.
Not anything either of you two can do for me.
Oh.
Hey, it's amazing what you can do with a credit card these days, even if it's not your own.
Yeah.
I words of affirmation is definitely.
You're doing a great job. I love what you do, Ryan. You're awesome. You're
Thank you.
beautiful. The best guy in the world.
Blanton's.
I would not say no.
Okay. That's my task.
So, because your love language is gifts, and I'm still trying to. I know exactly what I want to get you, and I'm gonna have to have this thing fucking custom made because I cannot find. No. I thought long and hard, and it's something that's it's quintessentially you. I think it hits on all the points in a single piece of bric-a-brac, which is not a tchotchke. Remember this; these are different things.
Yeah, bric-a-brac's over here. Tchotchke's over there. I got it.
Got it.
But yeah, so no, it'll be good. We'll do dinner. We'll have to find.
It'd be nice just to hang out. I think I'm currently booked on a plane flight. I'll see how the morning's plane flight goes before I make a decision as to whether I'm actually going to send another fucking airplane or not. But yeah, yesterday was an interesting flight.
What time do you arrive, Chris? It's got to be one of you guys echoing because I only have my iPad.
I've only got
I'm muted.
I've only got this running. That's it. I don't have anything else running.
Am I still echoing?
I'm not getting echo. Chris might just have bad internet.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good possibility. Yeah. I guess next. So when do I get it? When are we? 2 weeks, isn't it? At the moment I get in at 1300 Mountain, so 1400 your time zone.
Okay. I want to ride my.
And that's on Wednesday. I'm leaving early Friday morning. Just a heads up. I got an 06:30 flight out. 05:30. Yeah, I'm leaving early. Just because I want to get back. I want to get back. I'll hang out all night Friday night. No, Thursday night, no issues on that one. But I want to be back Friday and just hang out with the dogs and just get back.
I love dogs. Hey, I may not be able to make it to GurCon, but that's okay.
Why?
Because I have to go to Portland.
Well, GurCon's on the way to Port. No.
Wait. When are you in
Other
Portland?
direction.
For work or for
16th,
fun?
17th, or yeah, when are you going? Because the 16th is a Thursday.
It's businessy things. It's not.
It's none of my businessy things.
No, it's businessy things. It's always your businessy things. You know me. I'm transparent.
The 16th is a Thursday.
Okay, so I fly into Portland on the 13th.
Yep.
And then I fly back on the 15th. I took a red eye because those are my favorite flights. I leave at 12:20 a.m. I get back here 5:35 a.m.
On the 16th?
15th.
15th. Well, that's okay. I can pick you up on the way through. Oh no, you're Ryan, you're flying in.
I'm flying in because I have to give a talk in Wisconsin on the 15th.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to drive back, jump on a flight later in that evening, and pop out that way.
Got it.
Yeah, I might be able to make that turnaround. We'll have to see what the wife says. The Portland thing kind of came up today. So she wasn't happy about it. I said, I got to go to Portland on the 13th and I'll be back on the 15th in the morning. And she's like, what the fuck? You've got too much travel. And I'm like, I'm a businessman. I'm businessing, lady.
Yeah, it's kind of what I'm getting back into as well with the stuff that we're doing is, beating up on the business side of things.
So purple means travel on my calendar. And looking at my calendar for October, there isn't a week that doesn't have purple on it.
Oof.
I'm the same way in October. Thank God. Well, sort of thank God. I'm sort of sad about it. The FR Secures Hacks and Hops. We rented out the Tennessee Titans football stadium, and we had it sold out.
Oh, wow.
But the executive leadership team today made the decision to go all virtual because of COVID. So
yeah, the new flavor new flavors that appear to be bouncing around like nobody's business.
Yeah, and I didn't, I'm not one to overrule. So unless I have to, and this was not one of those times.
So. To be honest as well, I haven't seen anything about GurCon changing. Today, Texas. I mean, it's Texas. Texas. I flew down here. Obviously, it's a mask on the flight. It's a mask in the airport. Got down here. And I talk to the folks and they're like, well, you're welcome to. Nobody's ever going to say a damn thing either way, but you'll probably be one of about 3 people who does. And there were about 3 people who did, but it is what it is. So,
yeah, that's one of the things I like about us. The 3 of us. We're from different backgrounds, different persuasions, but we have this respect amongst us that we respect each other's decisions, right? I mean, we're not all the same people, and I would love the world to learn more from this, because with freedom, I'm 100% about freedom, right? I love freedom. But with freedom does come responsibility, right? I can't be irresponsible with my freedom. I have freedom to drive wherever the fuck I want to, but I still have stoplights, right? I still got to play by the rules so I don't put other people's lives in jeopardy. The thing that's cool about us is we get it. You know what I mean? People should watch this and like, oh, so that's how you're supposed to behave. I get it.
Yeah, same thing with Jesse. I mean, Jesse, Swede, and I, same thing. Very, very, very different views to some degree, but we can always, again, to your point, you always respect the other person's viewpoint. You respect that. You listen. You listen. You're like, get it, totally understand it. It might not be the way I do things, but I also like the fact that you respect that we are different and we're going to have different views on things. I mean, shit, if everybody was the same, it'd be a very, very poor world. Let's be perfectly honest. But one
of my favorite quotes is from my pastor. If all of us were the same, a whole lot of us would be unnecessary.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's yeah. That's we're looking at. No, that's a really good way of looking at it. Although I do want to point out the fact that the planet could do with a few less people floating around on it.
Oh God,
yes. To volunteer to be the selection committee.
Well, one of the things that's happened since you and I and us have been hanging out is, and I think maybe it's a good thing. I haven't really figured it out yet, but there are certain people I'm kind of feeling like the same way you are. Like, yeah, the world would be better off if you weren't on it.
Yeah, and here's the problem though. It's one, who gives me right to be judge, jury, and executioner? Secondly, exactly to Ryan's point, is do we need those people? And ish. Right. Can we have a security? Can we have a human security scorecard complete? Ryan, can we have a a societal human security scorecard?
China's got it.
S2Me is pretty close.
Yeah. We need a couple of extra. Oh my God!
Automate that shit and put it onto a chip and insert it into everybody.
No. We need to no. We need to turn S2Me.
Why not? We're going down that path anyway.
S2B needs to be a dating app. We need a dating. S2Me needs to be a dating app.
Is that the new criteria we're gonna put on Tinder?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Fuck it. That's it. We're done. Yeah. Fill out your S2Me profile. Then I'm gonna start looking at you.
I like it. You have to score 700 or better if you want any of this.
Screw your credit worthiness. I just need to know whether your numpty silly ass is actually going to look after the password, because damn well I'm going to give it to you in 6 months' time after we declare undying love for each other.
I only sleep with 700s or better. I'm sorry.
There's a Black Mirror episode like that.
Right.
Reality sucks sometimes.
620 or better. I'll show you some shit, but you ain't touching it.
No, don't show them, because the problem is, because they're numpty silly ass, they put it up on YouTube or one of the other bloody Instagram. Yeah. No,
I'll show you.
Means if you take a picture, it isn't gonna get breached. We need to approach Tinder. Seriously, fuck it. So we need to go to Tinder and say, hey, we have an addition to your app. So please just do this. This has got to happen. S2Me for Tinder.
I like it.
All right.
Oh my God.
All right. I will see what kind of voodoo magic I can whip up to make that happen.
Do I know anybody who owns Tinder? Is Tinder owned by Tinder? I have no clue.
Probably fucking Microsoft.
No.
Oh no.
Tinder, Bumble,
Tinder,
okay,
no company on the internet. Who do I know at Tinder? I know the manager of security risk and compliance at Tinder.
Nice.
And I know the security architect, Kyle's the security architect. All right, we have got to suggest this. One, for shits and giggles, but secondly, there's a part of me that would just want to see it implemented. It's just like a slightly morbid part of me wants to see this. Hello, yes, what's your credit worthiness and what's your security worthiness? Oh, I do apologize. Yes, not exactly Evan's point. I'm sorry, you're below.
Well, you know, we did just get ready here to implement custom questionnaires. So I'm wondering if one of them is do you have, you know, we could set up like a dating questionnaire in the S2 platform, right? It'll start with do you have a job? Yes, no. Then the next one will be
Love it.
Can you hold a conversation? Yes, no. Then the next one can be
The
you
next
know,
one can be 1 + 1 equals.
No, the next one is what is your password? Just,
Oh, there you go.
just what is your
Yep.
password?
What is your password?
Password.
Then,
Yeah.
then the next one, Evan, when it will be 1 + 1, except it's multiple choice, and cow and chicken are answers that are present on the.
Right? That's so true.
Can we throw quantum in there? Can we
Go
throw
ahead.
quantum? 2 quantum cow chick? Yeah. Oh my gosh, this needs to happen. Oh, this so needs to happen.
I was talking to a buddy of mine from Indiana this morning, and yeah, we were talking about this very same thing because he's a logic guy. He still has his logic books from college, very much into logic, and I am too. And so we were talking about like things that are happening in the world. And it's like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
There's no logic. Where did it go? And I wonder if it happens this way on purpose, right? If we want to dumb down society on purpose, because a dumb society is easier to control. Yeah,
Yes.
there goes Ryan.
No, it is. But my problem is, it's not that I don't trust the government.
I don't.
Do it. No, I know that, but this means the government has to be coordinated, and
it's not. No, it's the persons. You remember when corporations got personhood? Do y'all remember when that happened? We were alive when that happened.
Oh no way!
When
did that? So I know.
I will look it up, because therein lies your problem. Truly, is that corporations have personhood,
right?
And therefore they have human rights. Yet they are a corporation.
Corporation.
Corpse. Organization.
Corpa.
Yeah, that's a rough one. That's a rough one.
I like logic.
Yeah.
How often is logic linear too, by the way? It seems like so often when I think of things, it goes linear.
2010.
Just straight.
That's not long ago.
No.
2010.
I would have said it would have been like way that actually surprises me. I would have thought it was for whatever reason. Like, there we go. Yeah, you're right. Wow.
Stop it with your facts.
What?
Oh,
Sorry.
I would have put it way before.
I consider them complementary to that whole logic thing.
Hey, I'm going to tell you right now, your facts go against my bias, so you're a fucking bigot.
Uh-oh. Hey, I'm sorry. I don't want to end up on another list, so I'm going to back away now.
You're on the list. You are so on the list. You can't get off it either. Forgiveness ain't a thing. We're not doing that shit. Speaking of forgiveness, my mother arrives. What the fuck day is today? Thursday? So Monday. I'm supposed to pick her up at the airport at 10:37. That's what time her flight arrives, right? So I drive to the airport. The airport from here is about an hour, right? Middle of the day. I'm a businessman. I'm businessing, but I have to stop businessing to go pick up my mother. I get it. I love her. I'm going to do it. So I get there, and here in the state, in MSP airport, there isn't really a cell lot. You have to kind of just keep doing the fucking circle thing.
Huh.
So I get there and I stop and I text her. I'm like, hey, have you landed yet? No response. I'm like, well, fuck, I got to keep going because the cops then tell you to move on. So you do your circle. I call her, like, hey, are you here yet? She's like, oh yeah, I'm in Minneapolis. What the fuck you doing in Minneapolis? I'm supposed to be picking you up at the airport. Oh, Sarah picked me up at the airport. Why the fuck did Sarah pick you up at the airport? I drove an hour to come pick you up at the airport. Oh, I'm so sorry. So long story short, she felt so bad and didn't understand the fact that I could actually forgive her. She was like just beating herself up. I'm like, Mom, that shit's over. Like, I'm gone with that
Yeah.
fuck you're talking about. But so you go back to forgiveness. People, that's like a missing thing too, it seems, in a lot of people. Just forgiving, not holding grudges. Like you said
Right.
something that offended me. I get it. I'll move on. Instead, I want, I think what we do is like, you said something that offended me. I want to cut off your fucking head. And I'm never going to stop wanting to cut off your head.
Well, and it's worse than that. It goes back to the no courtesy, the keyboard courage, and now that's spilled back into the real world. All you're seeing is what people have been doing on Twitter for 10 years happening in real life now, because everyone, the gap has disappeared from a behavior standpoint.
I got into it with some dude. Thankfully, I took it private because I didn't want it to be a public thing because I don't think it was going to work out well probably for him. But I took a picture of my Harley on the back of my truck when I was going to Sturgis. And his response was, big bike, small dick. I was like, oh, interesting fellow you must be.
Wow.
So I
yeah.
did some OSINT and then PM'd, private messaged him. I said, is this you? He's like, why are you asking? Because you have such big balls online. I wonder how you are in person. If I showed up at your house tomorrow, because here's your address, how would you feel about that? You know what I mean? And it went to this like, oh, fuck. I'm like, yeah, oh, fuck is right. You know what I mean? Because you don't know shit about me.
Right.
You don't know, and so we jump to these conclusions online where it's all transactional. It's not relational. Very, very, very few times is it relational. It's transactional. So I fire some shit at you and you offend me. So, that's not the way things are supposed to work. And that's what happens, I think, with social media, which then led me to like, I'm going to take a week off or 2 or 3, and maybe I'll never come back to social media. It's not constructive. These conversations that we have, so often online, it's sad, but that's how we roll nowadays.
There's been, I remember seeing something, and somebody will have to correct me on this one, but I remember seeing something about the various acts and potential tries to de-anonymize social media online. So you want an account, you better be able to prove whom you are. Now that still isn't going to work for everybody, but
Reddit's done it.
I'm interested to see how successfully have they done it though.
Well, you have to have an account to comment.
Yeah, no, that
no
makes perfect sense. Yeah,
and you can no longer anonymously interact.
Well, and if you're going to interact and you want to expose yourself as like being something that you're not, maybe you shouldn't pick on a fucking security guy.
Yeah, not the smartest thing.
What did he say again, Evan? What did he say to you?
Big bike, little dick.
And you didn't immediately turn around and go, so you've seen my website?
No, I just found him and DM'd him. I'm like, hey, what's up? Is this you? And he's like,
see, I try to diffuse that shit with humor if I can, man. I try to just, because why are you letting him even get under your skin?
No, I thought it was fun because what I was hoping he would come from that is be more careful about what you say online
to
other people, because and I wasn't going to threaten. I mean, I wasn't going to show up at your house and do anything to you, but realize that when you say something to somebody and the wrong person, they might show up at your house and do something to you. I mean, be careful what you say. Talk to people online like you talk to people in person.
Right. It's that consequences and actions thing. That's the huge part. I mean, if you insult me and I can reach through the screen and smack you upside the head, you're going to think twice about doing it. But if the only consequence is I end up pissed off because I don't know who you are, where you are, or whatever, I mean, you have no disincentive to do anything or not do anything, as the case may be.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. There's so much of this that we got to figure this shit out. But
That was one that it reminds me of this morning. I reached out to you, Chris, about this this guy. I don't know. I'm doing a lot more research on him, but who wants some
yeah. I saw that.
I'm like, well, if I'm going to, there are reasons why I don't do that today. There are reasons why I don't go after APT groups. One is I would like to keep my life. I would like to live. These people will kill me if they find out who I am and what I'm doing. There are precautions that I can take, but I need help to get those precautions, right? I don't have the capabilities to protect myself legally, for sure, physically, right? I need things that the government has or others have that I don't. So, and I'm more than willing to use it. I can use it, but it's that, like, be careful what you're doing online because it can be tracked back to you if you're not careful.
Actually,
and you could end up
something I need to send to you, and I actually totally forgot about it. I just suddenly, while we were talking about it, I suddenly remembered. Let me see if I can dig it out. It's the spreadsheet. I've got the spreadsheet because I've been tracking.
Are you talking about that APT group spreadsheet?
Yeah.
I love that. You did share that with me.
Oh, okay, cool. I couldn't remember if I did or didn't. Yeah, that should have some stuff. Okay, that's good. That makes me happy. I'm glad I did.
Yeah, I use that thing all the time.
Yeah, it has its uses, definitely.
I love the fact it's maintained by a group of really good guys, man, and gals, probably.
Oh yeah, there's some good folks.
Yeah, I reference that son of a bitch all the time, at least once a week, because I don't actively do the shit that I used to do. I lead people that do that shit. They're better at it. Why would I don't have time for it like they do.
Yeah.
So Oscar and his team, they're absolutely incredible. And, you let them do what they do.
Right, exactly.
So what we were talking about? We were talking about JCDC. For those about to rock, I salute you. I mean, I take advantage of you, or I fuck you.
That one's got me like WTF'd. I mean, because I'm like, that's not.
You've said it before. Dick waving. Oh, that's what that was.
Yeah. Which.
So I think Evan had texted something, and I said, I had said back to him, what accountability or what something. It's they're under the umbrella now. You've been given the blessing.
And meanwhile, and you realize who's in that group, right? So what you essentially did, and when you look at the JCDC website, this is our mission, this is what we're doing, blah, blah, blah. Nowhere in there can you apply to become part of this collaborative. Nowhere in there is there any small business, small company, people that don't have a vested interest in fucking over everybody. Right. Instead, what you do is you go about it by, we're going to get all the big companies, all these big companies involved and keep it exclusive and shut others out. Right.
Here's the other problem with the whole thing as well. Well, it's not. I mean, again, it's indicative of our. It's going to be relatively indicative of our entire world anyway. Which is now. I mean, a couple of different things. One, it's painted an even bigger target on the back of those organizations. I mean, there's no two ways about it. I mean, this is just like they already had it. Now it's even bigger. But secondly, every single fucking venture capitalist out there, when they interview the next people that they're trying to put money into so they can squeeze money out of, is like, so what's it going to take for you to get into CrowdStrike or Mandiant or Google Cloud or Lumen? Because damn well it's going to and these fuckers are going to be like, well, I'm in one of them, and now I'm going to try and get in everyone because I got the JCDC connection. I mean, it's, again, to me, it's going to be that feeding frenzy at the top of the table.
Yeah.
every other motherfucker is going to be left to fend for themselves. Good luck if you get any of the scraps.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, I love the private public. I mean, at the surface, the public private cooperative partnership is
Mhm.
absolutely the way to go. The wrong way to go is to go through the most powerful extortionists in our industry. Let's go there.
Yeah. Actually, that'll be an interesting. I mean, shit, we can talk about JCTC up at the FBI thing. Just really lay it on. I got no problem in the sacrificial goat for that one. It'd be fun. Actually, I might do that. I might, you know what I might actually do? I might talk about disincentives. I might actually talk about disincentives. Why we have absolutely no fucking incentive to change. I might actually be devil's advocate. Oh, I might actually be devil's advocate for this show. Fuck it. I'm almost tempted to do an entire alt persona for the FBI one. I'm really tempted to do an alternate persona for this one and just come in and go.
Yeah, I'll support that, man.
Yeah, that.
My
Ooh,
mother actually speaks Latin, which is weird, right? That explains a little bit of my weird shit. So
yeah.
last night I told her, I said, the Latin phrase that I love the most, because I always use it, is cui bono. Who benefits?
Yeah. Okay. Ooh, yeah.
So when I look at things like this, or I look at things, decisions that are made by people that are in power, it's always cui bono. Who benefits?
Who benefits?
So look, and you can apply it to everything. Like take the open borders today. Cui bono. Who benefits? Do I benefit? Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I can hire.
Indirectly, I would say indirectly.
Yeah.
Cost of food come down because we can use
to the
Come
politicians.
back on camera for a sec, Ev. I gotta hit the head. I'll be right back.
Oh, no, it's just Chris.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm okay. I can just, we're good. I can second join in as well. But I'm good.
So when was the last time you painted not painted, dyed your beard?
It was before RSA, so it's probably got to be close on 2 years. It's been probably close on 2 years since I dyed it, because I've been growing these out since 2019. No, what are we in? 22. Hang on, RSA last year, so a year and a half or whatever it was. So I've been growing these out since then. They might have started a little bit before then, but it's basically since then. And I'm pretty sure somebody will have to call BS on me, but I'm pretty sure I didn't dye it for RSA last year. So I'm pretty sure it's probably going to be like close on 2 years since I've dyed it.
Yeah, I don't think you dyed it for RSA last year. We were there.
I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I didn't. Yeah, I'm pretty damn sure I didn't. So yeah, so it's probably close on 2 years since it got dyed. There's actually it's a new one that I picked up, and I figured I'd give it a try, and it's holding up relatively well.
I've never seen yours purple. I've seen it green, seen it blue.
Yeah, I think I'll leave it purple. I'll probably re-up it for the Fed one, just for the heck of it. I think I'll re-up it for Fed. Nice. Or if it fades out, the Feds might have to. I don't know. It depends. I might have to see if I can do a little bit more rainbowy or a little bit more pink or something, just for some giggles.
My wife is forcing me to go to the barber.
Sides or top or above?
She doesn't actually go with me, so that's her fallacy. So I'm just gonna have them get it above the lip, because I hate when I eat, I get hair in there.
Yeah, this was getting walrusy, yeah. And that's
and I do like when this is a number one, so I'll probably do that and then have them, to shave the neck and then be done with
it. I mean,
you're gonna tighten it up?
Not for my own making. I argued with her. I mean, it was like almost a real argument. She's like, "You need to get groomed." I'm like, "I don't do that." And she's like, "You need to," and I'm like, "I don't do that." And she's like, "Well, you need to," and I'm like, "What is it going to mean for me?" And she goes, "Sex." I'm like, "Okay, I'll do that."
This I do myself. I've always used a nice razor, and I end up treating myself not long ago to like just an updated one. So I got one of the good whorls or whatever it is, the nice ones, the just it's totally cordless and just love it. Just does a really, really nice job of it. I do
My-
that, cut the sides down and stuff.
My buddy used to have one that had like 4 wheels on it. It was almost looked like a Matchbox car, and he would just go like this.
Yeah.
And it worked perfectly.
Oh,
He loved it.
nice. That's actually kind of cool. Yeah. It's like, sure you didn't miss like a stripe at the back or something like that. Wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just getting done. Yeah. So I'll play. I'll mess around with it. See what we turn up to. I'll have it colored for Gurkon as well. I'm really tempted because it's the 11th anniversary because we missed last year, and kind of tempted to have a little bit of fun. I might strange, interesting, and slightly crazy.
Speaking of fun, I came up with a new word. We like to invent words nowadays. In year 2021, we invent new words. Meaning, oftentimes what people do is they take what was the meaning of the word and they make it a new meaning.
Yeah.
And oftentimes they do it without telling you. So you're using this word.
No
That's
shit.
not what,
Yeah. Yeah.
And they get offended. And you're like, what? You just did this. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? So I Google the word and I'm like, oh shit. All right. Sorry about that. I didn't know the meaning.
Well, I'll be politically and LBGTQ incorrect for a second, if people don't mind for a second. I used to help my grandmother at home make faggots, and we used to grind up the meat. We used to grind up the vegetables. You grind everything up, and in this country, it's meat. It's kind of like the meatloaf thing, but in the UK, it was called faggots. Well, now you fast forward 20 years, hugely derogatively term for somebody of an alternative, different sexual orientation, or whatever the official. It's the wrong bloody word to call somebody.
Right.
But 20 years prior to that, it was a gorgeous bloody meat dish, for crying out loud. I used to love doing that, and now, I mean, there have been a couple of times I've almost slipped. I'm like, oh yeah, Gran used to make like the English version of meatloaf.
Right.
And there's
it's
never any malice in it at all, but it's one of those where it was, that was one of those whoa ones.
Well, and it's not the word that's bad. It's the use of the word that's bad.
Right, exactly.
Have trouble understanding the difference. Yeah. I got a pastor who got on my shit last week because I swear. He says, that's a sin. I'm like, tell me how it's a sin.
Yeah, show me what's written down.
He goes, well, because, and in the Bible, it's, I can't quote it. I'll have to find it, but he's sort of right, but he's absolutely wrong, because it's not the use of the word that's a sin. It's how you use the word that's a sin. Using the word fuck, for instance, may offend some people. But how I use it is what is meant to offend or not offend. So if I say, fuck you, that's offensive, sinful. If I say, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Not sinful. So it's this thing, because I got into it too about, and everybody has their own beliefs. And I think that people should respect other people's beliefs. They're held closely. I'm not forcing anybody else to believe in what I believe. That's religion. That's bullshit. Jesus himself was against religion, so stay out of that. So, I believe, for better or worse, call me what you want to call me, that there are 2 genders. That's just what I believe, right? Science would back me up on that. Fine, that's what I believe. So then I was talking to somebody, and they said, "Well, you're transphobic." Like, well, let's talk about what transphobic means. Trans meaning, because that's what we've done in the English language. We've taken words, put them together to make new words. So trans meaning transgender, phobic meaning unreasonable, illogical fear. So when you say transphobic, I don't fear, and I tolerate and I accept somebody who is transgender. I'm not saying that I'm not out doing anything. I'm not attacking them. I let them live. I respect them. I love them. What I'm saying is I don't believe I believe there's only two genders. That's what I'm saying.
Mhm.
And so then they're like, so then I Googled transphobic and I looked it up and it's like, it's not those two words
It's
anymore.
not the logical meaning of what you would assume the words to be. Yeah, no, it's
Right.
yeah. Oh yeah, it's
And I'm like, oh my God, I am, according to what the world is now calling transphobic, you're right, I'm transphobic. But according to the creation of this word from two other words, I'm not that.
yeah.
I love people, man. I don't like a lot of people. I think I would not want to hang out with most people because I think most people are fucking irritating as hell, but I love them. There's not a single person on this planet that I wish ill will upon. Even like the evil people, man. I mean, I don't wish that they would die or any of that shit. Instead, I wish that they would not be such assholes. You know what I mean? I pray for you. I want you to be better. I want you to enjoy life. So anyway, I came up with a new word last week, and the new word is funvy. And what funvy means is the envy of somebody else having fun. So
Interesting.
yeah, so if I'm out having a good time, enjoying myself, and you're not, you tear me down. You call me names. You do whatever the fuck you want to do. Again, this happened because I was at Sturgis, right? I was having a great time. I had a great time. I didn't put
Yeah.
anybody else's life in danger. I'm still home by myself. You know, I'm vaccinated. I'm responsible, man. With freedom comes responsibility. And so certain people were ripping on the fact that I was at Sturgis. And I'm like, do you actually have any factual shit or do you just have fun? And they're like, what do you mean? I go, I'm out having a good time. You're sitting at home, paralyzed by fear, afraid to go outside of your house. And so you want to just tear me down because you can't fucking do what I'm doing.
Right.
Because your fucking head is all fucked up. You know what I mean? So it was like, and they came to the realization, because it was actually a friend, and they came to the realization like, shit, I have fun be. Like, sorry, man. I can help you with that. Here, come. You can ride bitch on my bike. I mean, I don't know. I refuse to live my life by fear.
And the other thing is, I mean, talking about this one, the rules. The rules have changed. Years ago, if you made a mistake, you made a mistake. There was an allowance to get over it to some degree. Again, using the words I was doing, using your stuff as well. There's like, okay, numpty, got this shit, figured it out. There's so little margin for error.
Oh yeah.
So
much.
It feels like it. Yeah.
Well, it's
right.
You don't fit my perfectly crafted digital view of reality. Your opinion, even the tiniest bit out of line with what I believe, I'm done with you now. That is what has evolved out of this lockdown and the pandemic, and just the part of the side effect of that is everybody wants everything exactly perfectly just the way they want it. We started this with individualism really taking off a handful of years ago, and it's only gotten worse and worse and worse. And so now people have just become incompatible, and what's intolerant today will be whatever it is, and then there'll be something new because the need to feed that beast is going to keep it perpetuating.
Insatiable, yeah.
Okay, and then so it'll be this group and that group, and these are the bad people. And now that those bad people have either changed their ways or are no longer with us, then it's now this group and that group, and we got to be careful. We need to spend some time being uncomfortable. We need to spend some, because that's where growth happens. In case anybody's listening who's like, I wish I was doing more with my life and I was growing as a human. A couple things: check who's around you, because who you surround yourself with matters, and choose to invest in you and growing by being willing to be uncomfortable, because discomfort is where growth happens. Other people's opinions are where thinking and ideas and debate can happen. And these are the precursors to change that works for both parties or all parties. It can happen. It has happened. Our species is very capable. I don't know if our society is, but our species is. We've been agrarian many times before in the past. It's kind of how we got to here. Kind of was that way until the early industrial revolution. So we're capable. What I see today is whatever narrow band view I've got, that's it. And that's the truth. Now, part of the problem is disinformation, misinformation, right? From other governments and our own. I just, when Homeland put out that alert, right? I saw the original one, and then I saw the slightly less aggressively worded one. And I saw how the news stories changed, but you guys forgot to clear the cache on the search engines. Just saying, if you were having your checklist, you forgot to clear the cache. So when you Googled it, it still showed up with what the original content was, even though the news story read a lot different this time around.
Oh, and if you bring it all around, it's, because I like simple shit. I like simple. Boil it all down to me and something that I can understand. I think it's a lack of love. We don't fucking love anymore like we used to. You know what I mean? And that's why, so bringing it full circle with this JCDC, why am I so pissed off about this shit? Truly, it's because I fucking love people. I hate seeing people get taken advantage of. I hate it. There's nothing in this world that I hate more than people taking advantage of other people and cheating. You play a fucking game, you play it by the fucking rules. Otherwise, why are we playing the fucking game? I don't understand it. And you can I feel sort of bad for my kids for having to grow up in this world that they grew up in, but now I don't, because I see how they've become the adults that they are today, which are beautiful human beings. They would play video games and they would enter in a cheat code and I would find out about it. I'm like, what the fuck did you just do that for? I mean, I wouldn't say it that way because that's cruel. But basically that's what I was saying. And like, well, because I wanted to get that new gun. I go, then you fucking earn it. You don't cheat. I hate cheating. At least if you're going to do it, make sure I never find out about it somehow, because cheating, shortcuts, it always comes back to bite you one way or another. Right? Now, when on a video game, it may seem really fucking innocent that you entered in a cheat code to get that new gun or that new whatever. But what you cheated yourself out of was the good feeling you got from accomplishing something. That's gone. You stole that yourself, right? Because when you go through the right process, you get this like feeling of like accomplishment. I did something. I'm worth something, right? And you see that play out in our society too. And I'm getting kind of fucking political, but you see it happen in security. You see it happen in human life. If you give me something, it's a lot different than me earning something.
Yeah. The cheat code one is kind of ironic in some ways, because I mean, I got into this industry because I hated losing at the games, and there weren't places to go find the freaking cheat codes. You wanted to circumvent the controls. You had to basically take the program to pieces. And I remember doing that on so many games. I probably spent more time taking the ruddy game to pieces than it was saving me if I'd have actually just played the ruddy game in the first place. And that was just, it was how my brain worked. It was just how I worked. And it was, to me, it was, that there were a number of different ones, everything from, some of the early serious, like hand up on this one. One of the very first games I ever tried to figure out how to break was a Texas Hold'em game, and it was on the old Atari, the old 8600s, and ran it from tape, dropped it up and played it. Well, my father used to like playing it. Father and I didn't really see eye to eye on a lot of things. And so I, again, stubborn teenager, young teenager, basically reprogrammed it so that when my father played it, he didn't do so well. And when I played, I ended up with like numbers with e's, like e to the power of 12 plus whatever. You just won this, and yeah, he was none too plus to muse. But yeah, it was always a weird one. But I mean, to that point, it wasn't just Google the damn cheat code. It was like, shit, I actually have to take the program to pieces to figure out what the hell makes this thing tick.
Exactly. And that's the difference. You earned that cheat code.
Yeah, big time.
You know what I mean?
Well, do you remember Doom, like Doom Nukem and all those other ones? I mean, I remember running packet captures on that damn game to figure out how it talked to the server, what it did, what it was saying, what it was encoded, how to make something happen. And then when we figured out Wolfenstein, like how to make, do you remember like having to redo Wolfenstein with all the pictures of the people on the walls and stuff like that? I mean, that was work. I mean, that was that was work to do that shit. It's kind of cool, but yeah. And again, more work than it probably would have been to have done the damn thing ourselves,
But again, you earned it, man. You still had that sense of accomplishment. And I think,
slightly different sense, but still had it.
but still, it's still a sense of accomplishment. And I think so many people nowadays don't get that sense of accomplishment. They don't have that self-esteem. They don't have that.
You know where I really see it, if you don't mind, where I really see it? Lockpicking. I see it so often in when you sit down at like the lockpick village or when you're hanging out there and helping and stuff like that. There are unfortunately a lot of people who, either from the movies or their own mental set, or they watch a lot of us, and you see somebody pop, and there are some people that are natural that just pop. My daughter is natural for certain things, and that's one of them, which is both good and bad. But there are some, there are some people who it takes a while. It takes a while to figure out the weight, the feel, the pin, all this stuff. And there's a level of impatience. But all of a sudden, when they manage to do it and they click through that 1 pin, 2 pin, 4, 3, 4, 5 pin, and when they've done it properly, rather than just raking the crap out of the damn thing, when they've actually done it properly, that sense of accomplishment is just, it's amazing to watch that happen. It's really, really cool.
When I'm working on our tech services team, I made the suggestion that for the junior tech services folks, right? These are like, they're not pen testers because they're not ready for that, but they're people that we're grooming to become pen testers. I made the suggestion today that for the first 6 months they work for us, we ban Google. You don't get Google. You have to figure it out.
Figure shit out. Yeah.
You have to backtrack it. You have to okay, why is the computer operating this way? Or why am I getting this error? Why is what I'm doing not working?
Yeah.
Troubleshoot it. Figure out the basics, the fundamentals, the building blocks of all the shit that you're working on without Google. Because when I have Google, I just Google that shit. There's my answer. Okay, I didn't learn anything other than how to Google.
I was talking to a bunch of students today. The conference had a whole bunch of students and like volunteers, fantastic freaking teams, like seriously awesome people. And, we got talking about getting experience. And we talked about doing like Hack in the Box and a bunch of other stuff. And I said, quite honestly, the best thing you can probably do as well is go down to Best Buy or Micro Center and just buy shit.
Yeah.
And then take it back and take it to pieces, like literally take it to pieces. Find out what makes it tick. Figure out what the hell that chip does. Just decap the damn thing. Just figure this shit out. Play with it. Take it to pieces. Use Google to figure out what the chip is, and then see if you can plug into the board. How would you do it? Just take it to pieces. Have fun. And by the way, if you break it, we've got some amazing like cute little cameras. And when I was doing I need to publish the light bulb stuff. I've got another one of those things. Did I tell you what I did to light bulbs?
I think so. Yeah.
So much fun. Actually, that might be the Gurkon talk. We'll figure it. No, actually, we'll figure it out. Anyway, I did the same thing. I'm literally taking the Dremel to all these damn light bulbs to take the plastic piece off and get into the chip and then Dremel the side and taking it. And some I'm like, shit, no, I'm next. It's the only way you learn. It really is the only way we learn.
Trial and error, man. You learn.
Gosh, yeah, totally.
I'm tired of seeing people in our industry, penetration testers who know how to use Kali. I could give two fucks about Kali. Do you actually know how things are actually working? Could
Yeah.
you possibly build this tool yourself?
Yeah.
Right? Because that's how you move the ball forward, right? Otherwise, I think so many of our penetration testers are just dangerous. You know how to run scripts. Well, that's dangerous because you don't know what it's actually fucking doing.
Same thing. We had a similar, it sounds like a similar-ish kind of rule. We didn't have the no Google rule, but it was you can't use the tools until you can tell like Chris or one of the other senior crew how this exactly what is an overflow, exactly what is cross-site scripting, and from a packet level, like, okay, this packet's going to turn up here, great, it's going to get reassembled. This is the action, this is what happens, this is the subsequent, this is where the message goes, this is where the request goes, this is till you can actually explain it. And by the way, that shell, let me tell you how it actually gets there and how that actually happens.
Right.
And that was key, because again, you get given all the tools, you get these really nice whizzy tools that make some very nice, but if you have no fucking clue when that tool either goes down or you actually need to think about this and you don't know what you're looking at or where you are in the process, then not happening. Just shit ain't happening.
When I'm excited, I think it's the 29th. I'm starting a 3-part series with Vicky Gatewood and the women's cyber jitsu in Jacksonville.
Oh, no way. Oh, that'll be awesome.
Yeah, it's a bunch of, I think it's a bunch of ladies. I think it's mostly ladies because it's women's cyber jitsu, but if there's men that come, whatever, that's cool. But they're people that want to get into security, right? They want to learn these things. And so I'm like, well, I'll just teach them how to hack themselves.
Yeah.
Hack your home network. So you take your home network down, fine. Call your ISP, they'll fix it for you.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, exactly.
It's the same basic fundamental shit that happens on your home network is what's happening in the enterprise. It's just more complex and more of it. So hack the fuck out of yourself. Take an inventory. What do you got running on your network? Because I think you'll be an eye opener in that first session. We're going to take you from this is TCP/IP. This is what this thing is. This is what, when you hear people say IP address, this is what that is. This is how to read it. Here's a packet capture. This is what it looks like. Now, what I want you to do for homework from that first session to the second session is I want everybody to run Nmap. I want you to run these commands, and I want you to save the output this way because we're going to dissect it all in the second session.
Nice.
It's supposed to be that inventory. I'm like, all right, well, what do you got? Oh, I got this dish network hopper fucking thing. All right, let's hack the fuck out of that shit. Let's show you how to hack it. And then the third session is going to be how do you defend?
Nice. Oh, that's cool.
Thanks, dude. Make sure to record this. This is good.
Yeah, I you know what would be fun? And I again did this with the students today. Almost a 4th session. Now explain it to my mother.
Good point. Yeah, maybe it will.
Yeah, now
Make
explain.
them write a report.
Yeah, well, and I don't just want to report. I want you to explain it to my mother in a way that she understands it, and then explain it to the business, the CFO / the business, in a way that will help them understand why maybe they should care.
Yeah, did I tell you about that? See, I get uninvited to a lot of things, I think.
I wonder why.
Yeah, right.
No, we don't want him. He speaks the truth. Do not allow the truth speaker into the room. We do not need the truth.
I know, it's sad, man, because I was in the CIO, was it? I don't know, it was a group of CIOs, and they were using this like, you got to speak the language of business. Speak the language. I mean, that was their buzzwordy shit. And I'm like, so then we did this session. I'm like, what the fuck is the language of business? What the fuck are you guys talking about? They're like, well, it's like you got to be able to communicate with the CEO and all that shit. So then I was like, so why do you fucking, I didn't say fucking, I go, why do you guys all seem to complain about the business's unusual, or not unusual, unreasonable expectations of you?
Yeah.
Right? They keep asking for more technology, and you can't seem to keep up. You complain about the fact that you don't have enough staff to maintain this technology. You can't do your asset inventory because you don't have enough people. And yet you're telling me you're speaking the language of business. Obviously you're not, because the business ain't fucking getting it.
Yeah.
So it went down this path and they're like, yeah, I don't think I like you.
But again, it's the truth. It's the same. You need to come. We need to get you, the pair of you, down to. Cecil does another one of these CISO forum things. You get the pair of you down here to this. I
Yeah.
hope by the time another one of these comes along that we've got we maybe have some spare cash to play with inside of whatever the Dave project ends up being called, so that we can throw some at Cecil and say, hey, we're going to sponsor it for shits and giggles as well. And,
Yeah, holy shit. Was that a lot of emails? What the hell is the name of Dave now? I couldn't keep it at all.
Yeah, I know. Long conversation. Don't worry about it. We'll save that one for an offline conversation. Let's just say we've. Oh yeah, we need to have a conversation. God, we got to catch up on a few things.
Is there a name though? No.
Yes and no.
Okay.
Yeah, changing
I'll
the way
go
we
with
do
whatever.
things. Yeah,
I'm
Ryan,
with
I
you.
think you're up to speed on it. Yeah, Ryan's up to speed on it. Thankfully.
I'm as up to speed as probably anybody on that. Yeah.
Yeah. That's so. Here's the logic. We're not. What I don't want to do is chase to build something that's maybe already there that we can do something better with. So the analogy I've been using is, not just Firewaller, but the other folks that Ryan found as well, that they make a decent 4GT, not a bad one. Does what it does what it says on the box. It's a decent 4GT. And it's a used 4GT, so you don't get any warranty with it. You don't get any support with it. You kind of get a little bit of support, but not really. You really don't get any warranty with the darn thing, and you're on your own. PS buy spanners, they're extra, or wrenches in this country, they're extra. What we're doing, and what we're kind of doing some pretty stuff is we're taking it and putting it through a saline. We're taking it through one of the saline centers and turning it into a super snake. And we are giving it access to the studio. We're giving it access to backups. We're giving it access to doing better analysis of the data that you have in the systems you have in your network. And by the way, you get support and you get maintenance and you get a number of us to come hang out with you and help you. And yeah, you're going to pay a monthly fee for that. But kind of like the super snake, we got your ass. That's as simple as that. We've got you covered.
Well, I wouldn't worry too much. I mean, there are lots of tools out there, and you take it to here's a good analogy. There's lots of manufacturers of hammers.
Yes. Yeah.
Fucking tons of hammers out there.
Yeah.
It's not the tool necessarily. It's the use of the tool, the interpretation of the tool, the craftsmanship of the tool. Because there are some hammers that are better than other hammers.
Oh yeah, totally.
And I think what we do with Security Studio in partnership with Dave, even if there is other shit out there, is let's be the master craftsman of what this actually is.
And that's the logic. So Dave is still Dave, but Dave is no longer Dave is not an object. So the whole logic on this one is we're building a services and recurring revenue model by taking something that's there, and at least for the beginning, taking something that's there, whether we dual logo it, whatever we do, we've already figured out how to actually do some pretty cool. We've already figured out how to do some pretty cool stuff on the casing and some other kind of crazy fun things. Swede's been having fun adding extra hardware. I mean, he's basically we've twinned. Ryan, you'll appreciate this, and so will John. He gave me a call this evening. He's like, "Hey, I got some more space on the drive." I'm like, "How much?" And he told me, I'm like, damn, yeah, this thing's a beast now. This thing's twin turbo. We're talking 1200 horsepower Super Snake now. This motherfucker is gonna fly. So nice. I'm really the whole logic is to take a decent platform and make it usable, scalable, better, more effective, yada yada yada. And give credit where credit's due, and then say, hey, look, this is why we're doing it our way. I don't want to reinvent the wheel. I got no desire to. It's actually pretty good, as is the other one's not bad at all. So I don't want to have to reinvent it. I don't need to do that. What I want to do is basically build enough on top that everybody should be able to use it effectively. Or in the case of small and medium businesses, we got your ass. We got you covered. Nice. You're paying a little bit extra, and we got you covered.
Now, did you talk to? Have you talked to Dan Ward at all at Sapio?
Not recently, no.
Because he was. Oh shit! It got dark out here. Sorry, didn't get the electrical bill. We're fucked.
Yeah.
Either that or the government shut me down because they don't want to anymore.
Not my fault this time.
It's probably Microsoft.
I was gonna say they
Yeah.
finally their analytics engine has picked up on the fact that we're not very happy with them at the moment.
Or their the power company's running an XP or some shit. I don't know. They had to patch. The power company had to patch.
Oh my gosh, don't even.
I was promised back in 2000. What year is it now? 2020. I was promised back in 1998, maybe 99, by Steve Ballmer. He gave a talk. This was before he was president.
Yeah.
We were talking about Windows NT Service Pack 4. And he was telling the group, and I was like front row because I'm like, you're Steve Ballmer. I want to hear what the fuck you got to say. He said, there's going to be a day, and it's not going to be too long from now. Maybe it'll be in Windows 2000 because they were starting to talk about that shit.
Yeah.
When you won't have to reboot when we patch. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I would love that because that is a pain in the ass. And so here we are 20 some odd years later. My fucking laptop last night rebooted. I'm like, thank you very fucking much.
Yeah. My iPad did it the other day. I woke up the other morning. I'm like, my iPad's like, hi. I'm like, what the fuck did you just do?
Right.
Like, I'm pretty sure last time you tried this shit, I turned it off. So I had a little bit more control over when you interrupt what I'm trying to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
You need.
So I think, and this is what I'll say in closing on this. I think you're actually going to see that happen more often. I think with this nifty little partnership now, I think there's going to be because the other thing I thought was really interesting is within days, all kinds of new updates were made to all kinds of privacy agreements and all kinds of, I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but there's been a lot of, hey, we've updated terms of service.
Oh, you're right. I have seen a few of those flow through. I'm trying to think.
Uh-huh.
I think I have seen a few. I'm brains fried anyway, but yeah, I've seen a couple of those come through. Not too many, like 2 or 3, I think is what I've seen, something like that. But yeah, you're.
Well, it just makes the rest of the relationship easier. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, we know where we stand, which is, up to our fucking necks in mud and stuff that smells a lot.
Mm-hmm. Well, one of the things that we talked about, when we first started this shit show, almost a year and a half ago now, was, this shit show, we're going to complain about the shit, right? Talk about the shit. But then one of the things we were also going to do was not leave people with ideas, to make it better, right? So you got this thing happening. What can we do? What do we propose? Any idea is fine to make it better.
Well, I think we're doing it. We're out there talking.
I do too.
We do the podcast. We're working on Dave. We're working on studio. We've got, there's just, I think at least the 3 of us, are doing all that we can possibly do, right? We're trying to influence. Chris is going out and scaring the shit out of senators with scary bunny photos. And, you're getting kicked out of rooms because you're calling it for what it is. I think we're doing it. What I hope, and this is really starting to grow on my heart as I gain a couple more gray hairs, is we have got to transfer the knowledge. And you guys have mentioned a few things you're doing tonight to do exactly that. But I think we have an obligation as the senior group. And there's a lot of us that are about to just leave the industry altogether, right? 5 years till retirement. Don't really need the money. I'm done, right? And then, there's a gap that then gets filled with those inexperienced folk that maybe know somewhat of how things work, but they're not quite ready for that level of they're still in that technical mindset. They haven't been kicked in the teeth enough politically to have started to shift their way of thinking and talking to get their goals accomplished, right? So that's what I think we can do, is just keep preaching, keep demoing. That's why I'm doing fundamentals, right? It's risk management 101 with a pen and paper. It is basic, most basic basics. You know, we talk about those 5 things. Well, I have a list of 5, and it's, you know, accountability, assets, vuln, right? It's your patch management. You're not even vuln scanning, patch management, MFA, and culture.
I used your, with credit, I used your analogy of the pen, paper, and the assets. And I actually added the other part of something you've said as well, which is interns. So there are a whole bunch of volunteers at the conference today, and quite a number of them are looking for work. And we stood there on the podcast. I'm like, okay, let's get back to the basics. And you know, how many of you here know where all of your assets are? One hand went up, and I'm like, I call bullshit right now. I said, I'll be honest, I'm gonna call bullshit. And I said, if I'm right, I tase you, and if I'm not, well, then I'll owe you. I said, but I'm pretty damn sure I'm gonna be right. I said, so how many of you that don't have all of your assets in place and know where they are, how many of you have got all the resources to deal with it? No hands went up. I'm like, okay. So all you motherfuckers have got 10, 15, 20 people here who are volunteers, half of which are looking for work. Bring them in as interns. You don't have to pay them much. Let's face it, bring them in. Give them a pen, give them a piece of fucking paper, give them a little laptop to get the bloody work done. As interns, you can train them, you can teach them. So when your fucking HR department demands that they've got 6 years of experience, at least you've just given them 6 months worth of experience that they can offset against the logical requirements that you want for them. Do them and yourselves a favor. I don't know, 2 birds, 1 stone.
Love it.
Yeah, so
Love
I borrowed a couple of.
That's awesome, man. That's it, but that's exactly it. That's going to be what my talk is. I'm hoping, because I don't think either of you 2 have seen me present yet. So I'm hoping to the schedule set up to where we can all be at each other's talks.
Oh, I would hope so. Yeah, I can't see them. Well, they do multiple.
Well, I asked for it because there was a little bit of scheduling jockeying. So we'll see what if I get the confirm tomorrow. But
well, worst case scenario, if one of us is overscheduled with the other one, we're just going to walk in and just
right.
Say,
Oh,
hey,
for sure.
All the audience, come with me. We're going in here. We're just going to tag team. It'd be fucking hilarious. That would be fun.
But yeah, I'm excited for it. That's what we do. We have to just make it simple. You know, we give away policies at Security Studio. We're about to publish this amazing contract. You know, we got to put simplified tools in the hands of people to cover those basic bases. You know, where asset scanning, right? So where's the simple video, the simple how-to guide? Here's your ed map. Do these 10 steps, right? So Evan, what you're going to teach those ladies, if we record that, we can then turn that content into documentation.
Right.
But that's what I think we have to do. I think we have to, that's where I had said this early on tonight. It dawned on me that we might need to go back to some old school practices. Old school practice, but new school method of application. I really think there's an easier, simpler way to do all of this, but we have to go back to that thinking in the 90s that we tried to grow ourselves out of that might actually still have some value. Some of those control steps, some of those processes that we had in place. Yes, the environment was smaller, it was less complex, hence my comment about new school methodology. But I do think you can automate some of that to deal with that scale. But I think the simple choke points and checkpoints, I mean, just think about, you know, doing basic integrity checks on databases before you call your backup good.
Right.
How many people are really doing that? Or are they just letting the backup job run and the backup agent says job completed? You know.
Everything's
I'm sorry,
fine.
Ryan. I have no idea what the fuck
Everything's
is.
fine. There's a tick in the box, you son of a bitch. It's fine.
Yeah, I got my sock too. Shut up.
Oh, yeah, I might have insulted that as well today.
Good. You should.
And I'm on. I think it's live on. I actually need to go back, and I don't really want to, but I probably should go back and listen to that Virginia thing I did, because I'm pretty sure what I said about what they could do to the Colonial Pipeline guy is probably some level of incitement for violence or threat of harm or something. I'm sure that'll
Whatever.
be fun.
2021, man.
Yeah, I know. We can get away with a lot more.
just tell him that his face triggers you, and that
That's awesome.
and that you're sorry, but hey, you had an
Tell-
outburst.
Or you could tell them you identify as a bird and you can't prosecute birds. That's what I've been doing, and I haven't been prosecuted.
Identify as a bird, you can't prosecute.
That's awesome.
Can you?
I like it.
Where do you put a bird in?
No, because if a company can be a person.
Exactly. No, but I agree with you guys. I think hopefully the three of us feel like and believe that we stand on solid ground, right? Solid, logical, foundational footing, right? That can't be shaken, right? So the reason why we get kicked out of things and offend people is because we feel confident in what we're saying. It can't be disproven because it's factual. And I think to your point, Ryan, it's continuing to preach the message. Sometimes, we get blunt, not because I want to offend you, but because I want to get your fucking attention.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to pay attention because I give a shit. I don't want to see you go out of business. I don't want people to pay the price for this. So I think it's continuing to preach. And then, like you said, there are people who are coming towards the end of their career, right? There's a lot of wisdom that will be leaving this industry in the next couple of years, right?
Mm-hmm.
I keep naming this date. I'm still going to be working. I'm just not going to be taking meetings, right? We'll be working a lot on the Gray Matter Society and those. But I think we encourage those who do feel like they're burning out, that we're here to support each other. We need each other. The wisdom, because the wisdom was hard earned, right? We've been there. I know what it's like to fucking go to executive management and have them not listen to a damn thing I'm saying. Right. So, I think staying consistent, trying to think of new ways, new methods to communicate the same thing we've been communicating, right? What's the message that's going to resonate with the person I'm talking to? So just encouragement, man. Keep encouraging each other. We need each other to get through this stuff. We're in it for the right reasons. I'm not in it to get rich.
And you say that just as I send the text message to the both of you for my talk topic for the FBI. Devil's advocate. I have no reason to change, and there's nothing you can do about it.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. And you're gonna make us bring the big guns, aren't you?
Yep. Damn right. Yep. I'm actually. You saw. I don't know if you've seen the talk I gave to the Senate, but I
haven't. You got to send me the link. I just I never got the link.
It's on the post. And I actually put it in the chat here as well. It's on the post.
So it's
in the damn
Did you
chat.
put it in the chat? Oh, there you go. Okay, there it is. I got it.
I'm going to go at it likely at a very, very similar pace and a very similar type of message. It'll probably be very, very different slides, or maybe, I don't know. I'm going to mess with it a little bit. I've got 2 weeks, which means I've got a week, which means I've got like 48 hours because I'll procrastinate for a week and a half.
I was going to say, what are you talking about? The
slides will
Evan will have his done between 12 and 16 hours before it's due.
Oh, and I'll be finishing.
I'll probably be
in the car on the way up there.
Not too far behind.
Yeah, I think I'm flying for this one. Well, we'll see. At the moment, I'm flying. So yeah, we'll be finishing them off as we arrive at. Yeah, okay. I'm glad I'm not the only. Yeah, I want to believe
this is how this works.
I know. I just wish it.
Have you ever seen anybody do PowerPoint on a Harley? No. This is why you tell me I can't text and drive. You didn't tell me I couldn't PowerPoint.
That is true. Okay, there's probably not at this point in time. There's probably not a law saying that you can't PowerPoint and drive.
I'm still compliant.
I would
Check the box.
I would prefer that you didn't. I like you in one piece and not splattered on the hillside.
Well, the good news is I'll be trailing him.
Mhm.
So,
Oh,
That's
it'll be
right.
fun.
but not on a bike. I'm going to be in a proper 4-wheeled vehicle.
I really want a bike. I really want a bike. We'll figure it out. I
encourage
told you guys I changed out the Mercedes. The S63 is gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got its 4 strikes. It's done.
No, I love it, man. I love your new truck, and I love the pictures of the
Milo's got
wolf.
one serious happy wolfman in there. Yeah, bless him. I'm leaving early in the morning because I want to get back to see him. I really want to. I miss my buddy.
Isn't that crazy, man? I took Violet to Sturgis with me because I didn't feel like I could do a week without her.
I'm if I do drive up to Gurkon, I'm debating taking him with me. He won't be that much hassle because I mean I can do it in a day, so a couple of stops and stuff like that. So I really am debating taking him with me because everybody but Gurkon will get an absolute. I mean they'll love. He'll be the freaking star of the damn show. Let's be perfectly honest.
Yep.
Oh, actually. So I'm doing the opening talk on Thursday at Gurkon.
Yep, your keynote Thursday morning.
Yeah, I've gone through my head a few different talks, and there was a talk I did a while ago, and it was like through the eyes of a wolfman, and I'm almost tempted to redo that. It's a bit of a tearjerker, to be perfectly honest, but there's I mean this is 10 years ago. Yeah, anyway, so yeah, I'm just noodling on that one. I might end up doing that. If I take Milo with me, I might actually do that one.
Nice.
So,
Have him up on stage with you.
Yeah, totally.
Awesome. Yeah. I'd love it.
Yeah, if Devos, I'll talk with actually I'll shoot Pink a message now.
All right, guys.
Yeah,
Great.
Gentlemen, love you both.
Yeah, love you too, guys. I'll talk to you soon. The alarm goes off. I'm done enough. I'm getting
you go get back settled in and ping me, and we can connect.
Did you see the amount of flasks I brought out here with me? It was freaking. No, rewind engage brain. I'll figure that one out. Yeah, do you see the amount of flasks I brought with me?
Yeah.
Totally awesome. I actually ended up buying a bunch more flasks. I'm actually preferring to travel with the flasks than I am with the bottles.
Let me see.
Well, this makes sense.
Ooh.
Less breakage.
Yeah, way less breakage. I can actually get more in. So rather than like taking a bottle and only really getting 3 doses out of the damn thing, those flasks I can get a good bunch of nice pours for people. So there's less selection, but I mean I had like 14 whiskeys, 14 bourbons, and a bunch of other stuff, and for a room full of leadership folks and others afterwards, it seemed to be a decent amount. So I think I'm going to do that again.
Amelia, what's the plan?
Yeah.
All right, my brothers. I love you guys.
Love you too.
You get back, get home safe.
1:30.
I'd love to. We need to have an Gurkon. There's a logical reason for it. We'll figure it out.
Yeah,
it would actually be fun to do. It would be fun to do the shit show.
We can do a show there from there too. Yeah, it's on Thursday. Why not?
Exactly.
Where are we doing a shit show from?
Gurkon.
So as much as I do not want to. You can't put pressure on you anyway. So as much as
I look funny when I do this.
Get out of here and go get some rest. All right, love.